If you like YouTube, welcome back to another episode. Okay, so it's concrete day. We're just about to leave to go and get the concrete and get this slab put into place. And then we'll be able to get this fish room built. So there was 4 of us doing this, John and Neil, and me and Trevor were getting and delivering the concrete. Funny thing, it happened, unfortunately it was in time lapse. I wish it wasn't, but John, the brickie's teeth fell out and landed in the cement, which was so funny. And then once we got all the cement in, and it was just me and the brickie, his teeth fell out again. You need to get better teeth, John. But yeah, that's the slab all done. So just now got to leave it to cure. So it's been about 2 days and it's nice and hard. So now I decided to focus on the rest of the garden. I was going to leave this slab for at least a week before I started building the shed. So it gave me time to concentrate on the rest of the garden. And the patio here turned up really nice. This fence was an eyesore, so I decided to get creative with it and build a little inboxed shelf. This is turning out really nice. Painting it grey. I tiled it, and I've also added some LEDs to it, and it's turned out really good. So that's another part of the garden sorted. Next challenge was this hedge. It's just crazy high, so got that all chopped down and rebuilt this fence. So this is all looking nice. Just got a lot of painting to do, but next up got to start building the shed. Okay, save this video going on and on and on. I decided to just show you the shed completely built. It was pretty simple, to tell you the truth, and it's turned out really good. Last job for the outside was I've just siliconed every single screw, so there should be 0 leaks from the roof. And here we have the finished article. Really happy with how this has turned out. It was very easy to put together. I've managed to do this myself. Just had my son to hold a few bits and pieces here and there when I needed an extra hand, but the majority of this was so simple, I managed it myself. Okay, that's all the spray foam done. So just filled in all the gaps. Now the good thing is, because the base, when I framed it, made sure that it was absolutely bang on level, and when we laid the concrete is bang on, and there was no need for any spray foam to be put under the base because the base is flush with the concrete, which has turned out brilliant. So all I did was I just placed some silicone sealant along there just to stop the water, and the base has been bolted down to the concrete with a total of 26 screws, believe it or not. So this shed is not going anywhere. So now what I'm going to do is just going to get a knife and I'm going to trim up all of this, get this all nicely tidied up, and then that way the door will be able to open again properly. What I've got left to do is silicone around here, and there's a little bits here. There's a little bit of daylight coming out, so I'm going to just silicone along there as well. Just the gap wasn't enough to justify the foam. All the screws have been capped, just in case you bang your head, I suppose. But, yep. Right, we'll go and get this trimmed up. Looks like this is wet, but it's completely dry. It's just kind of been stained from when we did get a shower of rain before I managed to seal it. So the concrete has been stained slightly, but not fussed. I'm thinking I'm going to actually spread some concrete on here, self-leveling concrete, just to get a nice smooth finish. I think that's the plan. Then I'm going to get some foil and help insulate it, because I need to reflect some of the heat from the sun, as it is rather cosy in here at the moment. Right, I mentioned it was cosy, so here's what it's like outside just now. It's 22 degrees, south facing, and my fish room is just getting hotter by the minute. So to get an idea how hot it was actually getting inside the shed, I've put this thermometer, and as you can see it's 34.4 degrees, so it is rather toasty in here now. So I need to get this sorted. So to fix the radiant heat, I've put this reflective bubble wrap, which kind of reflects the sun radiation back out of the building. It's definitely worked, because it's much more comfortable 16 degrees in here now. So this has worked a treat, and basically got some wood, strengthened all the roof as well, and helped create an air gap for this radiant barrier. So that's all done. While I was here, I also siliconed all the base where the foam was. Just a double precaution, just to make sure nothing can get in, there's no air getting out, and no leaks. I also siliconed all the joints, just as again, extra precaution. And that's turned out fantastic. So all I've got left to do now, really, inside, is insulate the walls with some Kingspan, which I'll maybe do at a later date. But the next project I'm going to do is I'm going to self-level the floor with some compound, cement compound, to get that all nice and flat and smooth. Here's the tank. So basically it is an absolute shambles. All the fish are being back in for a few weeks now. We did lose a couple more. Unfortunately, we lost the purple tang. This is because the yellow tang, I've got no idea what went on, but when they both went into this tank, the yellow and the purple were just fighting constantly, and the yellow came out on top. So basically taking the rocks out, I haven't scrubbed them because They are just absolutely caked in algae. So just going to work my way through it. Hopefully get this mess cleaned up a bit. Okay, so a bit of a mess. Scrubbed some of the rocks, got them back in the tank, rescaped a little bit. Can't find the acrylic rods that I had cut the size for my pillars and that, so just put some new ones in. So I'm going to have to cut them at some point. So just a way to refill up the tank. Siphoned out as much of the detritus as possible. So let's fill it up. Okay, rescaped, tank's full, and unfortunately looks as if we have the nightmare of Dino flagellates. So I've got a little microscope, so I'm going to take a little sample and have a wee looky just to see if it is Dino, which I suspect it is. And the fact that there's UV running on here, I suspect it's the kind that doesn't go into the water column. So this is not good. Okay, got a little sample of the dinos. So I don't know how much you're going to be able to see if I'm using my phone, but I'll just see if I can line this little microscope up. Right, so let's see if we can. But these guys, they don't have like the little pointy tail, which is usually the osteopsis or whatever it is, the kind that go into the water column at night and get zapped by the UV. These ones are round. It's crazy. But yeah, this little thing, pretty good. 10 quid, 15 quid I think. Paid for it. I bought it years ago, like I've had it a good while now, so. But it goes up to 120 times zoom. And then this is your little focus bit here, and then obviously the light. But yep, dead simple and perfect for if you're needing to identify whether you've got cyanobacteria or dino flagellates. So I've increased the dosing just to try and get some more nitrates in the system, which hopefully will get this tank looking good. Right, well, things are moving in the right direction. Now, one thing you may notice is there's not very much sand. Well, the reason for this was I removed most of the sand because, like I said, this was meant to be getting moved out into the fish room once it was ready. But that is not going to happen, which I'll talk about a wee bit later on. But in regards to the dino, it's definitely not as bad as it was. However, there is still signs of it. So it's just going to be a case of being patient and waiting for the bacteria and everything else to take effect. But I think I'm getting close to the point where maybe I could add some coral. Achilles! I've added my dream fish, Achilles tang. He is absolutely beautiful, love him to bits. So when I was at Planet Ocean a while ago, Gary made me an offer I just couldn't refuse and picked up this guy. So far so good. He's been doing really well, eating like an absolute pig. I also picked up some frags while I was there. Now this tank, I've deliberately not added any coral to it because the plan was for this tank to be moved into the fish room. and I was going to be adding a custom built tank here, but the prices after that company went bust, and I've been shopping around all the other companies that are trying to do the same plans that I did. The money that they're asking is just crazy, and I just cannot justify that amount of money. It's between 5,000 and 6,200 is kind of the ballpark ranges that I've been getting quotes for. And it's just, nah, I can't justify paying that for a glass box. Especially when there's other things that we're needing done in the house, like a new kitchen, for instance. So I think I'm just going to have to focus on this tank and make the best of it. The fish room has been taking a lot of my time, hence why this tank was in such a state. Because when I focus on something, I kind of go balls deep with it and forget about other things. So I'm back to focusing on the tank, trying to get this looking good. There's still dinos. I'm currently running about an 8 to 10 hour light schedule. The dinos doesn't seem to be getting any worse. So I'm just going to carry on with the dosing. It's good that I've actually got nitrate and phosphate in the systems now, since they bottomed out before. So we'll see how that goes. But yep, I'm contemplating if I can find glass, maybe even thinking about building my own tank once I get the fish room sorted. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at just now. So until the next one, thank you for watching. Stay liquid. Bye bye.